This was basically just still there for some testing purposes. So we get that out of there. We got our, hopefully our hardware right there. And we will bring over the new hotness. So this new print head's going to fit right there. And I'm going to try to make sure my arms and my hands aren't blocking the whole field of view here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on this linear rail. I've been loving the linear rails, by the way. They can be pretty difficult to get all aligned and square and perfect. There's really no, the linear rails have basically zero tolerance. Like, they can't be off even a bit and still work right. So it does take a little bit of adjustment and a little bit of calibration to get them to work for you. But so far, they've been doing a pretty good job for me. I'm pretty happy with them. So I do make sure to clean them quite often. I don't want any of just the dust from the house to get in there and gum them up. They're pretty precision and pretty small bearings in there. This one absolutely slides beautifully from side to side. No biggie, no problem. Now let's go ahead and put this belt on for the D9. It just goes out and around this motor. And then this belt tensioner that I've got here is part of my 3D printer, or my monster design, which if you look through my channel, you'll find out where I built this for the linear rails. So there's my belt, and grab this nut, throw a little bit of tension on there, which is super easy to do with this system. Get it tensioned up pretty good, and we should be in pretty good shape. Now here's the main wire that comes down off the printer. This is in fact one of the reasons I bought the D9, because this main wire and this daughter board would make an upgrade like this probably simpler than it could have been in any other setup with any other printer. And this is where I find out whether or not my strain relief works well or not. Snap that in there. Even though I'm still just testing, I am going to throw a zip tie on this strain relief, because that's kind of part of the testing. I want to see if strain relief is going to work. I want to see how well it's going to work, if the zip tie stays where it needs to stay, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead, make sure that's all centered in the strain relief that's kind of cupped there, and then I will clip the extra just with a pair of flush cutters. So there we go. That's a little bit flexible, but it looks like pretty good strain relief. Printer's not even on yet, so did all of that without power. All right, moment of truth. Let's power it on, see if the fans work. That's exactly the reaction I expected from the BL Touch. It looks ready to go. I'm doing a little bit of controlling from Octoprint on my phone. So first of all, with my Octoprint controls, let's see if we can do some movement. That would be good. So one of the things about the D9 though is when you first turn it on, it won't move past where it is. So I try to move to the left and I don't get anything, but if I move it to the right, I will get some movement like that. Same thing with moving it down. I can't go down any further, but I can go, or I can't go back any further, but I can go forwards. I could home X and Y pretty easily. So there's a home on X and Y. I don't really want Y homed though, so I'm going to move that out a little bit. And I don't really want X homed either, so I'm going to move that more towards the middle. There's 200. There's 300 millimeters towards the middle. If we check our clearance, we go 400 millimeters as a 500 millimeter printer. So we should be able to go 500 millimeters, and I don't know if you can see that, but look at that clearance right there. I've got plenty of decent clearance. The BL Touch is kind of off the bed, but with the printer originally, it was a little bit off the bed as when it went all the way to the side. So I'm actually working on getting this Easy Flex replaced with something that's full size. I thought the smaller size was going to work, but I don't know if it's going to work now with my new print head. So it looks like I got movement just fine. So that works. Let's check a temperature. See if we get temperature reading. So right now the temperature reading on the Octoprint says that the tool is actually at basically 25C, which is fine. Let's see if we can run it up to 100. So I'll just put 100 in there and hit the checkbox.